You're hearing a lot of debate about war powers, something called the War Powers Act of 1973. You're hearing Democrats say that the president's war, quote unquote, is unconstitutional. You're hearing Democrats, media figures say he needed to come to Congress first. These are all lies. You're not going to become the smartest person anywhere you go on this constitutional issue. Who has the power to make war? What is or is not constitutional? And does the president have to go to Congress to get authorization? I made it as simple as possible so even a liberal Democrat can understand. So here we go. Fact: no president of either party has accepted the constitutionality of the 1973 War Powers Act. Not Obama, not Biden, not Clinton, and no Republican. Every president has viewed it as a violation of separation of powers. The president's Article 2 plenary, broad, general power to run foreign policy, and his authority as the commander-in-chief. Fact: the Supreme Court has never ruled on the act's constitutionality and likely never will. Indeed, Congress itself is split on the issue, with Democrats supporting Democrat presidents and Republicans supporting Republican presidents. The War Powers Act is nothing but a political tool used by members of Congress, typically against a president of the opposite party, and their arguments mostly switch from one side to the other depending on who the president is. Fact: the first draft of the Constitution, which I'll delve into in a minute, provided that Congress would have the power to make war. To make war. The delegates at the Constitutional Convention, August of that year, when they met, they rejected that language. They rejected it and changed it to declare war, intentionally watering it down because they did not believe a body with numerous members were institutionally capable of making such decisions. So make war, which is what the Democrats are arguing today, was specifically rejected. Fact: to declare war does not result in making war. To declare war does not result in making war. For example, if Congress were to declare war and a president refused to accept such a declaration, Congress can't force the commander-in-chief to execute such a war. Congress declaring war, which it has done a mere 11 times, mostly during World War II, and the last time 1942, that's more than half a century ago, it's almost a century ago, is essentially the highest means by which Congress can proclaim its support for a war. It is not a condition precedent to making war and never has been. Fact: the only power Congress has to prevent a military operation is the power of the purse to withhold money. That said, a president who is commander-in-chief, who has authorized military action, he's not going to sign a bill that then prevents him from executing that war. He's not going to do it. Therefore, Congress would need a 2/3 majority of both houses to override his veto of a spending bill, or in that case, a bill that limited spending. In other words, a president has broad power to take military action. Fact: other than the vice president, the president is the only federal official elected by the entirety of the people, by the entire nation. In addition to the institutional impossibility of war powers and decisions in the hands of a multi-member body like Congress, the president is the only official who was elected to, among other things, serve as commander-in-chief. Now, these bullet points, these factual points, make it very, very easy to follow what's taking place despite all the lies that are coming into your home through TV and podcasters and radio, despite all the lies that this is an unconstitutional war, despite all the lies that the president has to bow at the power of Congress before he can take action, despite people running around talking about the War Powers Act of 1973, which no president has accepted as constitutional, but they've insisted it's a violation of presidential powers under Article 2, and the Supreme Court has never ruled on it and never will. Folks, if you enjoyed this clip and you want to watch the entire episode, I'm telling you, you're going to love it. You can go to YouTube and subscribe, or go to Rumble and follow. And by the way, tell your friends and family too. I'll see you then.